So the Dallas Mavericks just traded Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards. This is a trade. I was downstairs. I was eating a bagel. And I started getting notifications on my computer. Quickly went upstairs to go get my phone. And bang, the trade happened. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It took me a second. My phone started low-key blowing up in terms of people asking me what I thought. So making this video to kind of give you guys my thoughts on the overall trade and what this means for the Dallas Mavericks. Shams Charania of ESPN put it out that the Mavericks have traded 10-time All-Star Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Burnham, Marvin Bagley III, 2 firsts, and 3 second rounders. So at first you're like, holy motherload, this is what, a 7-person trade? Which is, no, like 8-9 person trade? Wait, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, an 8-person trade. Holy moly. Now, for Dallas, the really only key piece they're giving up here is Anthony Davis. They're giving up Jaden Hardy, which I tweeted out that I'm going to miss him more than I miss Anthony Davis, just because Jaden Hardy was supposed to be this nice young guard. He showed flashes in his rookie season in 2023 and a letdown season for the Mavs. He seemed to be a guy that could potentially make this rotation and be a great guard off the bench for Luka and Kyrie. Never really came to fruition. He is now on his way to Washington, where hopefully he'll get some run. Washington just traded some young, they just traded for Trae Young, so maybe he might get not as much run, but hopefully he'll get some minutes. D'Angelo Russell was a consistent, did not play coach's decision for the Mavs. He gets a new home, and Dante Exum has been out all year, and he will be out all year. He is just more or less freeing up a roster spot or moving a roster spot so the Mavs can take on some of these guys. But Chris Middleton, dude is old as dirt. But he's still balling. It would be a shocker if he plays any games. I don't know if he's necessarily even played for the Wizards too much this season. That's not necessarily a key piece. If anything, that's just for contracts to make this trade work. AJ Johnson, so far for Mavs fans, have been the biggest name to go around. He is apparently 6'5", 180. Apparently he's super skinny, which is very interesting. Maybe the lightest guy in the NBA. But he will be one of those key pieces for Mavs in this trade, because look, you wanted to get young core, you wanted to get young talent and picks, and they got some of that, right? Apparently this Malachi guy, not much. He's a nothing burger, and then Marvin Bagley III. We technically turned Luka Doncic into Marvin Bagley. That one guy that with that one video seems to be pretty happy, but I mean it's just a replacement big for Anthony Davis. Decent. I mean, he'll probably get some minutes this year. I don't know how much longer he is under contract, but we'll see what he can do. And then you get the 2 first-round picks and 3 second-rounders. If there was more details, let me check Shams real quick for more details on those picks, because they do happen to be late first-rounders and then just miscellaneous second round of picks. Yeah. So it was receiving a 2026 Thunder first round pick, which will probably be bottom 2 in that first round, 29 or 30. And then a 2030 protected Warriors first round pick, which apparently what I read, this isn't confirmed, but it's protected. It would have to land from 20 to 30 for the Mavs to get it. So it's probably top 20 protected for the Warriors. I don't know how the Wizards got that, but. And then they get some second-round picks, in which I'm pretty sure they were very light. They traded away their own second-round picks, so the Mavs were very light in the second round. So they get one from Phoenix. That could be fairly high, or at least middle of the road. Same thing with the Chicago. Well, the Chicago picks 2027, and then who knows where Houston will be in 2029. So you get those picks. You get these young guys. In my opinion, it's a sad trade, right? Mavs fans are going to be celebrating because it's like, hey, it finally happened. Seems to be at least a win, right? They reset their books. They can free up some cap space, build around Cooper Flagg. This is really the first move that signifies that. This will be hopefully the first domino, because this signals we are trading people. We are moving into a direction in which we need to focus on our young talent, and nothing more explains it than this. So overall, I think it's a good trade, not a great trade for Dallas. I mean, you never really want to trade a superstar, right? And to call Anthony Davis a superstar is not a far stretch, right? The dude just never played. I'm pretty sure the trade happened 4 days ago. the Luka trade 4 days ago, a year ago. 4 days and a year ago. And Anthony Davis has only played 29 games since then. That'll go to show you how injury prone this guy is. And, I wish the best for him. I do. But, he never really got along with Mavs fans in the way that, a guy like Kyrie does. Now, Kyrie's a special human being and has that connection with the fans. So I'm not trying to compare him, but it's like he didn't really give fans a reason to root for him, if that makes sense. I'm thankful for his time in Dallas. He came here not on his own accord. He was, shipped overnight, right? We think about the Lucas side of that trade, but Anthony Davis thought he had a home in LA, helped them win a championship, but then they ship him overnight, and he gets lumped in the worst trade in NBA history. You got to feel bad for the guy. And so I hope in the best in Washington. That was one heck of a first half against Houston last February. Him and Kyrie, they only got one half together, but that's what happens in the NBA when you get injured, and the Kyrie injury definitely played a role in this. And so luckily the Mavs will be able to move on from this. I want to say the Luka trade's wrapped up just yet. Potentially a guy like Max Christie could be on the move. Probably not as of right now. He's been a little cold and lost a little bit of confidence, but he could be a streaky shooter for all we know. He's still very young. And then they have that 2029 Lakers first round pick, which at this point, who knows where it could be if Luka leaves them in free agency once his extension is up. So yeah, that'll do it on this quick reaction for the Anthony Davis trade. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are, because I want to start some dialogue. Let's start some dialogue about this. Anyways, thanks for watching.